with anything else. Like they just I still haven't widened the gap between here. So let me do that real quick. Uh, Maybe I will use the buffer of like 400. Mhm. Actually, twice as wide. Twice as wide might be too much. I'll try 300. Um, yeah, I guess I'll just try it in the sky. So let's just say plus like or like minus 170. That'll put it really high up. Oops. What are you talking about? PyCharm is literally incapable of running a script surprisingly often. There's surprisingly many scenarios wherein PyCharm it just fails at running a script, which is really impressive to me. Um, okay, that's too high. If I'm gonna put the text scroll like within the scene, but like yeah, no, let's try like 130. It's probably too low. But yeah, if I'm gonna put it inside the scene, then I want it to be I want it to be as close to the other elements as possible. I think, or else maybe there's like a magic height where it looks like most sensible. Um, Hark, we've wandered into a. Oh, we could actually put it lower than that. I was basically like trying to set up so that it would basically like graze the top of the. So actually, I can go lower than that. So let's say 130. So let's say like 110 maybe. Um, I don't like what it does to the shape of the scene. I like that I mean maybe yeah no maybe I should just like unclench but but like I like that like in the village right now like I like that there's like the jagged look to it, right? Like it's like it goes it's like there's like the up and down to it like the all right, so now I went too low, slightly too low, but like I think I don't know, I think it looks something like this kind of. That's a little mesmerizing. The fact that the adventurers are walking in one direction and the text is scrolling in the other direction. It's a little bit like my eyes are a little bit like, oh, ah. um, yeah. What if, no. Um, yeah, so I'll just nudge it back up slightly. Like, how many pixels is it off by? Oh, actually, I'm going to take a screenshot and measure it so I can stop guessing. So, like, file, new. Okay. Paste that. So it's only off by like, what is that, like 4 pixels or so? Because like I don't mind if. Oh well, actually I do have to make a call as to whether these will literally be abutting or whether there'll be a margin in between. Um, I feel like there probably should be a margin in between, but first I'm going to see what it looks like if they're literally abutting, like not overlapping, but they're literally abutting. So I think that's actually only 2 pixels off. So instead of 110, we'll say 112. Uh, and let's see how that looks. So like so part of the text actually will be overlapping. Um, Specifically like the part like the letters that hang down, like the lowercase g's, the lowercase p's, the lowercase j's, and stuff like that. So like right now yeah, so like the lowercase g, yeah, no, there should definitely be a space between that. So like let's try what if it was just subtle though? Like what if it was only like a space of like 3 pixels? What if we went to like 115? Um, I mean, I'll have to like rearrange this stuff if I change like the fonts and stuff like that. But I mean, if I change the fonts and stuff, I'd also have to change the graphic frames. So I don't really have to worry about that yet. Yeah. So the other interaction that like this is actually the easier of the cases. Like figuring out how like the text should work relative to the now there should be a slightly wider margin because like just having it yeah like that is that's actually still way too close. Do, do, do. Um, yeah. So the other thing, right? So expand canvas. Yeah. So let's try it like, let's try an extra 2 pixels. So like 17, let's say. Um, and I mean, I can like if I ever need to move the action tags, I can always like unify these values so that I don't have to like tune separate literals in like different places. But yeah. Oh, wait a second. How often are those growth opportunities coming up? Trusty Bard said huzzah at 250. When was the previous one? Because it just occurred to me, like, one of the things that could have been. Oh no. 140. Really? 140 was the last time Trusty Bard did one of those things. Maybe I got my math wrong. Like when I punched in, like. Because I changed the timing on that. Apparently, like, right now, the time. Like, they're only. Like, it took an hour and 10 minutes for them to happen. Whereas, like, I'm pretty sure I meant to. I'm pretty sure I put it at, like, 47 minutes apart or something like that. So, oh, whoops, I did not activate away mode. Uh, that still feels a little tight. I might move it up even a little further. I wonder how this would look with my face. But I can't really check that until, as long as I have the script running. Oh, that's also really confusing that I have like it's the village in both places, and they have different action tags. Whoops. Um, so yeah, I'll shove it up a little bit further. So I'll just put it up to like 119 or something like that. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So what's the deal with that actually? What was it? Growth cooldown is set at 2820. Uh, calculator. What? I said calculator, please. 2820 divided by 60. How many minutes is that? That's 47 minutes. And yet for some reason it took an hour and 10 minutes between. What was the previous timing? Like, so there's one at 140. There's one that happened at 140, right? Yeah, 140. What was the one before that? Oh, you know what? Actually, no, the chat log isn't going to be a shining example of timing necessarily because I restarted the script a few times. So, I mean, I think it did take an hour and 10 minutes. But I can't necessarily go just by chat timestamps on that stuff. Do. Oh, okay. Scrolling back through chat logs, though, there was one at 102, and 102 and 140. Again, not 47 minutes apart. That'd be 38 minutes apart. um, Whatever. I'll keep an eye on that. Maybe I should put like a time-stamped print into the logs, or something. I don't know. I won't worry about it right now. All right, yeah. So how does this version look? Yeah, and what am I gonna do with the name tags, right? Because like those name tags clearly occupy the same space. Like, okay, so what if I call mid time and then conclude the event? Conclude the event. So it's gonna, yeah. So why is it not showing anyone's name tags? Oh, there. Oh, it is. It's showing some of them. Yeah, right. So like, so it's not showing the second half of the name tag. So I was thinking like maybe like when this text is on screen, the uh, 'cause, 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 ' maybe like when this text is on screen, then the name tags just shouldn't go upwards. They should just like stay fixed underneath that space. But like, I don't know. Like this is something that I want functionally. But if I didn't actually, if I didn't have like a functional reason to show this text on screen, I would not want to be introducing this element to the game, like whatsoever. So, I don't know. I don't know. um, yeah. I'll probably just like put it back like up higher. I really want to see what it looks like on the bottom of the screen. Or what it'll actually look like in stream, like relative to my face. But I guess that doesn't actually matter because, like I said before, like I can always move my face like to a different height, and I don't know. I'll get that. I'll get that experience at some point. Um, if though, like if I was going to like get the name tags to like totally like fit though, I mean the crazy thing is that like those name tags go really high, right? I would have to like they go up to like that height, right? That we just saw, and so to get them to get this text to be above that is going to go really high, like really high. Um, I mean, the other thing I could try is just to put the name tag text in front of this text, but that doesn't seem like a good idea. So the other thing is that we don't show name tags during events. So we could have it so that this text literally only shows up during events. Um, I don't know though. The other text that happens in the game also feels important. So maybe the okay. So I could just use a different height for the text, like whether the event was on or not. But like I don't know. That seems kind of not much better. I don't know. Like I don't know if that's actually much better. Like having it like shift around on screen. Um, hmm. Uh, I don't know. um, I should probably work on something else and then come back to this later. Uh, because we got like the core of it up and running, and now it's just like figure out what to do with it, I guess. Uh, actually, wait. Let me. Oh, you know what I meant to do was yeah, I'm gonna take a screenshot of like how high that name tag actually gets. Ah. Um, because like how high would I have to move this up actually in order to for it not to collide? Like I'd have to move it like all the way up, like all the way up. That would be the easiest fix, right? Just move it up by 47 pixels. Um, but I'm pretty like as I recall, that would just look really dumb in other contexts. And it also would be more than 47 pixels, probably like 50 something pixels because like I didn't get the perfect screenshot. Doo-doo-doo. But let's see what that looks like. All right, so instead of 119, what if it was uh, so like 50? That'd be like my, mm, oh yeah, that'd be going in the positive direction here. So like it'd be let's just say like 160. Isn't this like where we started roughly? I think this is like roughly where we started. So activate array mode. Um, and oh, why is it? Yeah, why is it sending through the lurking mode as false for all these players? I don't know. Uh, oh yeah, no, it'd actually be higher than that. Yikes. Uh, so it'd be like Wasn't like 170 like around where the first value that I tried. um, so yeah. All right. So once again, activate array mode. Well, they don't clip anymore. And maybe that's fine. Maybe it should just be like sky text. Like maybe that's totally fine. It feels really disconnected, but it could be worse. And so the other thing I can do is I can just change the speed and height of the name tags so that way, because if the name tags don't travel as high, then like, yeah, I don't know. So like, let's say name tag height. Name tag height, start height minus 25. So what if we only did like start height minus 15? I mean, then we're only bringing it down 10 pixels for a pretty radical change. So to be NT speed, we'd have to bring the speed way down to like 0.7, probably. And then actually I'd probably want to put the start height, what is the margin or the buffer or whatever it's called? The buffer is the start height minus 6. So I'd probably want it actually to be like minus 3. And I'd want to actually increase the start height by like 3. It's like 68. Or no, the other way. 62. Probably. I wonder how that would look. Oh, and yeah, then I can bring the screen text height down to 160 because I hypothetically saved myself 10 pixels. But I don't know if this is gonna look better necessarily, and it might make the main name tags look stupid. So, I mean, like, what else do I do with this text? Is the big question. So no, they definitely still collide. Oh, probably because those 3 pixels. It's like, yeah, I didn't really save myself much, and for all I know, the second half of the name tag looks stupid now. So, and just like the thing that like irks me the most right now is just like the relative placement of this text at the top and the action tags. But like I like where the action tags are located, so like right now I'm leaning towards only having the text show during events. And like just because name tags already don't show during events, so although actually now that I think about it, there's no reason I can't show name tags during events anymore. Um oh yeah. So wait, maybe so actually maybe that points towards like what I was talking about before, like just shifting everything up and having the text on the bottom of the screen, because then I could just show name tags all the time. What goes at the bottom of the screen though? I guess I would just have to author in, or I'd have to like go back in for every environment in the game. I'd have to draw in like what goes there now, because yeah, I don't know. In terms of composition though, like the adventures are basically where I'd want them to be. So, um, uh, no. I was just thinking, like, what if the text was over the characters, but the backing of the text wasn't opaque? What if it was transparent? That would probably add to draw time. Like, it'd probably be harder for it to draw that. I assume, like, drawing transparency is more expensive than drawing not transparency. I could be wrong. Um, I'm tempted to try it, though. Let's, because, like, I'm, like, running out of ideas. And, like, none of the things that we've tried have been particularly successful, in my opinion. So let's put this back down to 0. Actually, let's undo all the changes that we made to the name tag stuff, because like I didn't I like the name tag how it was. I don't want to change it. Yeah, I think it was like that before. All right, so let's put this back down to 0. And let's like, I'm not going to change every, because this is going to change the name tags too. Oh, we can't change the name tags. So we'd have to use separate, okay, well, we'd have to use a separate backing for the, we'd have to set up a separate font and use a separate backing. For now, I'm just gonna make the, I'm just gonna, like, just to quickly iterate on this, just to test it out. I'm gonna hard set the environment to so next event, yeah, right. So I'm just gonna hard set the environment temporarily to like what would be good for testing this. I guess like what's the busiest? The village is probably the busiest. So the village maybe, and so then I'm just gonna see what it would look like if just I brought down the opacity on like the backing frame of the of like the back, because I have like I have a different backing color for each of the so it's the char frames. I have one different one for each of the environments. So edit these, and so yeah. So what would happen if I just I wonder if this will work. Can I just like scale this down to like 120, like 127? If I save that, will that work? It looks pretty transparent. If I save that, yeah, I think that works. So opacity 127. I won't like close these files so that way I can undo the changes if I want to. 127. So yeah, so the reason I can't have opacity on the text that appears higher on the screen is that I can't have opacity in this game at all. Or excuse me, I can't have transparency in this game at all. And that's because I use a chroma key to filter out the edges, right? Because like I was saying before, I kind of like that there's no like top to the graphics. They just kind of like go up and like resolve naturally. So yeah, if I use a chroma key, or if I use transparency over the chroma key, it just mixes the chroma key, and it doesn't get transparent over like my desktop background. It just shows like, yeah. Well, we'll see. It looks weird, but I just want to see how this would look. So yeah. I mean, it could be that the text isn't even legible this way. So yeah. So you're probably seeing like weird. Oh no, it doesn't look too weird. It actually looks okay. So is this better? I mean, it is a little better in that like it's not completely blotting out the scene. I don't know if I necessarily like it though. Actually, I kind of do. Yeah, kind of do. um, huh. Hmm. I like this, I think. Because it doesn't take up more space. I think I kind of wish I could move it down a little bit further, but like as you can see, the lowercase g is like just right against the bottom of the screen, so I can't move it down. I could make it slightly smaller. I could make the text slightly smaller. But like the other thing about this is like if I have it like this, then there's also no reason I have to hide the name tag. So like nt active, yeah. Oh no, wait, hold on. Yeah, so for name tags, not having the name, like never deactivating the name tags would be really helpful, because the name tags are how we like convey information about like the state of the game, and the less time we spend showing name tags, the slower we like if we can display, the more often we can display name tags, the more often the faster we can get that information across. So I think this is actually the way to go. I might want to bring the text size down slightly, and I might still want to bring the adventures up slightly, Like I might want to like make some small changes to this, but like I think this is like the gist. Like this is roughly what I want to do. I might even make the backing of the text a little less opaque, like even more transparent, because like I don't know, but I think we're on the right track. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So, uh, yeah, right. So I don't literally want to have. Oh wait, what was I gonna try? Oh yeah, I was gonna try. I just want to see what it looks like with the name tags on. So like, yeah. So right now I only show name tags if event on, or no, I only clear name tags if event on, right? Um, yeah. If not g event on. So I'm just gonna say or true, which is what I usually do if I want to deactivate temporarily a. Oh yeah, wait, hold on. If I'm gonna do that, but I'm also gonna like the whole. Why is Yeah, it's saying lurking equals false. Oh, I think it's because these players don't have names. It's because these players don't have real names. They're like their name tags don't show up. So, uh, oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna say I don't know. I'm just gonna plug like real people. Hey Arkham, how's it going? Arkham. I'm just gonna plug like real people in here just temporarily. So Protospasm, Arkham, you can debut, or you can get featured in this test as well. Who else? Brad. Uh, do 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 do. Uh, oh, this is supposed to be lowercase. I don't need too many players. I'll just alright, so like Brad McQuaid. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, so the other thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to activate both halves of the name tag for no particular reason. So let's go to clear. Clear with an L. So we're just gonna say L if true, or yeah, yeah. So let's see what this looks like. So now so the name tags will partially cover up the action tags, but the action tags are now themselves redundant to the fact that the text is actually scrolling across the bottom of the screen, and okay, so we can also move the name tags higher up, right? Because like I tried to put the name tags relatively low down. Well, nah. Yeah, I mean part of the reason is I kept the name tried to keep the name tags lower down. I think that was just a coincidence that it stopped showing name tags. I think it just finished showing all the name tags that it needed to show. But they'll come back in a second. Yeah, there it is. Wait, what? Oh! I still I still have it so the action tags don't show up when name tags are showing up. So wait, hold on. So the NT active thing. NT active equals false. Yeah, so don't set it to true. Whoops. Yeah, NT active just it keeps track of whether any name tags are currently shown on screen, and it oh, interesting. ARCMMD, or excuse me. I read the D from your emoticon. ARCMM. Oh, Jesse Freeman, thank you for hosting. Welcome. We're like changing how the text shows up in the game. So you'll notice there's actually two versions of the game running right now. This is the real version that's actually running, and this is like the So I'm putting text on like I'm. So the for some of the stuff that happens in the game, for a fair amount of the stuff that happens in the game, text is actually quite relevant. And as it is so far, like the text shows up in chat, but you but so yeah, so whoa, did the I don't, it looked like the action tags just like flickered. Yeah, the action tags are like flickering for some reason. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, the so the thing that the thing that I'm trying right now is just like trying to find where on screen to put the text. And I think I'm so yeah. What we were just deciding, or like what I was just arriving, the decision I was like kind of arriving to is that like I think this is like kind of like the right organization, like or at least this is like roughly the organization of like how I want things to be displayed on screen. The difference will be that I want to like now that the like the text at the very bottom of the screen is or like the I mean it's not literally at the bottom of the screen because that's the version that doesn't have the text in it yet. Um, the text that shows on that bottom strip, and I don't know why the action tags keep flickering, but whatever. The Yeah, I want to move like a lot of the other stuff up a little bit because like the bottom screen text is a little bit bigger than I would have hoped. Why is it? Sorry, it's just really annoying me that it keeps flickering. Um, this also feels like a lot of text, right? Like, I mean, it is. It's like a huge difference in the amount of text that displays on screen. It's really annoying. I have to stop that flickering. So instead of going by anti-active, I'm just gonna say uh, if G event on colon comment the rest out. And do that in both cases where we, yeah, this one as well. Comment the rest out. Yeah, I mean, I guess I should have seen this coming. Like, I knew I wanted to add text on screen, and I knew that text would take up a lot of space in order for it to be legible. Because I like it when the text is legible, right? And so, I mean, this isn't even like a worst case scenario. Like this kind of is. Like what we're seeing right here is kind of like the worst case scenario. It's just like, I don't know. I guess it just hadn't fully sunk in, like exactly what adding that would do to the composition of the game. And I mean, like one really relatively easy fix would just be to like decrease the size of the text. Um, like one of my goals is that like even if you were watching the stream on a tablet, you would still be able to read the you'd still be able to read the text. So I'm just like looking at this tiny version of the visuals, and I guess you can. Like I'm actually reading this from I'm like able to read this like on a really small screen right now. Like I just have like OBS open, and OBS itself is like really small. But like even like oops, except for the fact that I'm covering it up now. Like even this stuff right here, like I can actually like read that pretty okay. And this is a really small screen, like OBS, like you like OBS as it appears like through my monitor, like on this on the stream, is actually slightly bigger because that's slightly magnified. But like I don't know. Maybe I could just go smaller with that text. I feel like that would be nicer. You know what else though? Like when I'm looking at like when I'm looking through OBS and like looking at it here, like everything's huge and like it's not my favorite. But like looking at it through OBS, like it actually doesn't seem as bad. Um I mean it is still really busy. Maybe that's okay though. Cuz like I don't know, the game like without this text like is a little bit like sparse. So all right, I'm just going to like do a very unscientific test of just decreasing the text size. Like I'm not going to change literally anything else. I'm just going to say like font char. Where do we set the size of font char? It's like it's down here further. Yeah, font char size is not going to be 40. It's going to be like 30. So I'm not changing the size of the frames or anything. So it's probably going to look a little bit weird. Like the size of the text frames relative to the size of the text itself, but yeah, so it's the frames are going to be slightly offset, but I don't know, like maybe that's fine. Like how's that look through? Like that's like on the lower side of legibility. So like so like I think if you were watching like the stream literally like on your phone or something, like you'd have to have good eyesight in order to read that. But like it also hits on like some of the I mean, it also hits a lot closer to like what I was hoping for in terms of like how much real estate would be dedicated to this text. And like if you really super cared, like if you cared your face off, like you could like eye strain and like actually like read that. Like torrential rainfall and thunder. Will you build a tent, search for shelter, or wallow in a puddle? Like, it's not literally impossible to read that. So, um, and then there's the other thing is that the action tags, of course, are displayed prominently. So like search, like build, like well, build is off screen, but like if you like even if you were on like a really small device and didn't have very good eyesight, you could still probably at least read search and build, like probably. And like worst case scenario, you could just get context cues from what other people are saying in chat because other people will be using these action tags in chat, and so I feel like that's good. I feel like that's like what I should be doing. So, all right. So in order to get this, like, oh well, so okay, just because like I think this is actually like the direction. Like I think this is actually what I want to do with it. I'm gonna check. What is it like the I'm gonna push the text even closer to the bottom of the screen, which I know is dangerous because I know like some. Ooh, that is dangerous because like okay, so maybe I won't put it literally to the bottom of the screen because I know like sometimes in broadcast like the edges will get trimmed a little bit. Actually, hold on, let me well, I was gonna say let me look at my past broadcasts to see how well mine like do or don't get trimmed, but no, for now I'll just assume that it's fine and like I'll get it because I just want to push it down a little bit higher because like right now it's like coming up to the adventurer's necks and I just want it to like just want it to be like a little lower down if I can get it that way, and I think I can. So let's go to what was it like? It was screen text height. So right, so it's gonna be font chart full height. And I'm gonna do like plus 15. I don't like again. I'm not. Oh, actually no. I can measure this out. So I'm gonna take a. Oops, that was the wrong button. Go away. Print screen, and let's see how many pixels that really is. File, new, okay, paste, and yeah, how many? What pixel margin do I actually have here? Is there a G? Is there a lowercase g? No lowercase g's. All right. Well, I know I have to like, I know I can't go literally all the way to the bottom because if a lowercase g would extend down below this line, but like, how many pixels is this? Oh, it's only like 7 pixels. That's fine. It's still better than nothing. 7 pixels is a lot. Actually, wait. Is there a lowercase g anywhere in this text? No. It'd be convenient if there was. Oh, there's a lowercase p. That's better than nothing. Oh, wait. Oh, the lowercase. Oh, it's actually getting cut off. Wait, what? That's weird. Like the lowercase p is actually getting like cut. Okay, so I clearly have to like I can't just change the font size. I clearly have to like actually change some other things to make sure it works. Okay, but I'm gonna try adding like yeah, I'm gonna try adding like 7 pixels. Uh, see how that turns out. Do do. Uh, and right, so right, so okay, so I think like when I prefabricate, like when I send in, I think once like without having to make new art assets or anything, yeah, I think this is okay. I think this is gonna be good. So I will have to adjust the frames slightly so that they like fit and so that the text is like lined up and stuff like that. But I think okay, so now we have a lowercase g and that does look like it's getting cut off. So I mean, partly it's getting cut off. Actually, no. You know what? I think it's not actually getting cut off the bottom of the screen. I think it's just getting cut off because the art is getting cut off. I think it actually would have some pretty okay room if. Yeah, it does. I think it actually does have at least almost enough room. It might not have literally enough room, but it has like almost enough room. So I think instead I'm gonna fix why it's like cutting off the bottoms of the characters rather than fixing rather than like changing other things. Yeah. So right, so I'm thinking like just like when I do the blit text command, like the command to fabricate these text plates, I think I can just I can use the same font, but then I can just like send in like a variable representing like what level of transparency I want for the text plate, because the ones that show up on like the ones that we're using for name tags, like those ones really I don't want transparency there, because like it seems to be fine actually with the with the name tags that we're using in the village, but I think in some of the other backdrops, like we use green name drops, and so like transparent green over like the chroma key pink that we use for the chroma key. I'm pretty sure that would conflict and end up looking weird. Uh, yeah, it's actually really surprising me that it's cutting off the text because I was pretty sure the way to set it up, like I was, if anything, I was expecting it to mess up the frame, not the text itself. But apparently, oh, it's actually cutting off the text. I've never noticed that before. It's actually, oh, that's weird. I'm sure it's cutting off this G here too, on the action tag. I just never really noticed that before. Why is it doing that? Oh, maybe that was because of something that I changed today. Maybe I'm hmm. What? Yeah, because the thing that I changed today, because it looks like it's cutting off exactly at the bottom of the frame for both of these, like nothing extends below the frame. So that might have been because I was changing some of that stuff when we were like when we're setting up blit text now. Um, we right. So we set the text surface. We blit the text in the frame onto the text surface, but we set the height of the text surface based on the full height of the font. And the full height of the font should be. So wait. So maybe it's the position. Maybe it's like frame. Oh, we're blitting text with frame Y. No, we're blitting the frame with frame Y. What are we blitting the text with? We're blitting the text with font Y. So are we miscalculating font Y or something? Because like, or are we miscalculating full height? I feel like one of those must be off. Where are we calculating full height? Doo-doo-doo. Full height equals the maximum between between the height of the font character height and the frame height. So it's whichever one's bigger. And then frame Y equals font. What does font Y equal though? Yeah, where are we setting font Y? Huh. Oh yeah, we're setting it down here. Yeah, we're setting it down here because we have to have blit something first. Um, Font character full height minus font character dot height divided by 2. So like hypothetically, like the full height is equal to uh, hypothetically the full height is equal to either the font height or the uh, frame height. Oh, wait a second. No. Yeah. Okay. So hypothetically, the full height is either equal to, because the full height is set by the maximum of either the font height or the frame height, right? So it has to be equal to one of them. So for one of them, the frame Y. So either for the frame Y or the font Y, one of those is going to be 0, and the other one is going to be half of the difference in size. So that way it'll still be vertically centered. So like, what the heck? Unless something's going wrong in like fabricating the characters themselves, which would be surprising, I don't anticipate anything to be going wrong there. Um, I mean, we can look into it, but I don't expect to find anything here. Or where is it? Uh, is it just because I'm using a capital A? Like, I wonder if the font characters are actually different heights. Um, hmm. Uh, Interesting. I'm just gonna say for so like just here. I'm just gonna say for C in font char uh, print uh, font font height C and font char index C dot height. Or no, what would it be? No, it'd be dot get rect dot height. Maybe these are just all different sizes. Let's see what happens if I do that. What? Iteration over non-sequence? Oh, fontchar.chars, excuse me. Fontchar index, fontchar dot chars, index C get rect height. Yeah, okay. Doop doop. What now? Character instance has no attribute get rect. Oh yeah. Font chars index C dot image dot get rect. Yep. Yep. Wait, what do characters have other than image? I don't even know. Okay, so where did those all? Wait, where did they? Oh, there we go. No, it says 36 for all of them. It says they have the same height. Flippity gibbets. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's good news, but still doesn't explain what we're seeing. What if I just so what if when we're blitting that text, what if we just blit it to the 0? What if we just always blit to the very top of the frame? So instead of yeah, no, I'll just replace this with 0 and 0. Oh wait, I wonder if I'm no. Wait, b.font.full height. Yeah, no, that's normal. Where's the part where I blit to rsurf? Or blit rsurf to... Oh no, wait. No, blit, where's the part where I blit the text surf to rsurf? No, yeah, I do use height 0. Wait, is that one? That's not one of the ones I just changed. No, that one's always been 0. Yeah, so that seems like it would be correct. Alright, so I'm just curious to see what this looks like. Because, like, this... Like, they might look offset and, like, weird now, but they should at least now not get cut off, because now we're blitting always to the top of the image. And maybe that's fine. Maybe I should just, like, always blit to the top. Oh, well, I didn't change the edges. Like, so there's, like, these weird edges on the sides. Alright, yeah, it looks like the G is at least not getting cut off now. I mean, the shadow of the G does actually get cut off a little bit, and that's just because of how I set up the shadowing. Wait, what? Print screen. Paste. Yeah, like the shadow of the G kind of looks like it does get cut off, but that's just because how I set up the characters. I could change that if I wanted to. I don't actually care about the shadow, though. Yeah, what the... It must just be... Like, I don't know what's wrong with my calculation of, like, frame height and whatever, but... I mean, I can just, like... I can just not worry about it and just, like, do it manually, I guess. How offset are they? Or is there are no name tags showing up? Let me get a screenshot of a name tag. I don't know if I got it. Did I get it? No, too slow. It was too slow. Wow, yeah, they're really offset. Look at this. Like I didn't do the edges of the frames, so I'm just doing the the frames itself, and look how many pixels off it is. So many pixels off. Oh, what the crump? Wait a second. Oh, no. Wait a second. What is wrong with the frame? Because, like, look at the frame itself. Like, I mean, it's kind of hard to see in this shot, but, like, it's not, like, the edges of the frame are actually basically on point. But then the bottom of the frame is, like, way off. Like, the bottom of the frame is, like, way disconnected. But, like, that would imply that the frame just, like, I have no clue what that implies about the frame. That doesn't seem feasible. It doesn't seem like it would be that way, or that it could be that way. Are these frame edges, like, the same way? Are these, like, yeah, they look it. I have no clue what's going on right now. Like, over here, it's like, it's doing the same thing. Like, it actually looks like it lines up at the top. It lines up, it's like lining up correctly at the top. And then at the bottom, it's just like going crazy. So that's weird, and I don't really know what to do with that. So I'll just, like, I don't know. Like, usually if things are weird, I'll just, like, change them until, like, if things are weird and I can't figure out why they're weird, I'll just, like, change them until they are better. But, like, I don't know, they actually seem good, like, to start with, except for the fact that they're not working out correctly. Like, things are actually set up the way that I would have, said I wanted them set up. So I don't know. Oh yeah, how's the lowercase g look on the bottom of the screen now? Do do do. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we shifted the text upwards. So yeah, again, it's not gonna be right, but just before I, like, start, like, locking things in, I'm just gonna try excuse me, what am I gonna try? I'm gonna try moving the text down even further. So, like, screen text position. So instead of saying +7, let's say +10. Wait, actually, we can measure exactly how much it's supposed to be. So so was that 3 pixels? Looks like 3 pixels. Is it 3 pixels? 3 pixels, yeah. Alright, so let's see how this looks. Uh, so, oh yeah, right, so activate away mode. And, hark, you come to a village tormented by the bizarre and apathetic machinations. Yeah. So this is good, I think. In terms of, like, the framing and, like, the height of stuff. Like, I might want to bring the action tags slightly down, actually. They look slightly high now that I made the text smaller. Specifically, they look high relative to the position of the lower text and the name tags, because the name tags still clip them quite a bit. Yeah. The turtles, how do the turtles look? Head turtles? Yeah, the head turtles, like, cover up some of the action tags, but that's fine. They're supposed to. Yeah. So, let's do that real quick. Just to see. Yeah, like when the adventurers carry tall things, like when the adventure art is tall, like for the banner or for the head turtles, the action tags are covered up. But also when things show up in the foreground, the action tags are covered up. So, like, that's just, like, partly normal. So where would that be? That would be in act slots. The definition of act slots contains the definition of the height values. And right now they're just drawing at 200. So let's say 210. No, that's probably too dramatic. Let's try it. 210, and it's actually the same height. Like I'm using the same height for all three, but that wasn't always the case. There used to be four, and they used to be staggered a little bit. So, oops, I did not mean to debug. Don't do that. So yeah. What was it? Oh yeah, the action tags. So activate away mode. So how does that look relative to the height of things? It's a little bit lower. Oh, what is wrong with the action? The action tag text is still messed up. Like look at the. I think like actually the clipping at the bottom of the G actually got worse somehow. With what the heck? I don't get what that's about. I'll just have to like redo some of that stuff, I guess, in order for it to not act like a jerk. Apparently, in order for it to get work, in order for it to work like a real thing that doesn't suck. Sorry, I'm not better. Yeah, but this is mostly good. Yeah. All right, so this will be like the relative composite, the general like rough. This will roughly be the composition of things, I think. All right, so yeah, let's figure out what the heck is wrong with this text fabrication stuff. So should I change the assets first? You know what I might do is I might instead of like yeah, you know what, instead of like trying to like calculate these like height offsets from like the frame and like the for the frame and the text, I'm just gonna set it manually, right? Like just like tune it to get it to the numbers that I want it to be, so that it doesn't like be all screwed up. So let's go to blit text. Actually no, we don't have. Yeah, well actually no. Let's go back to blit text and fix it up so that it uses the correct values again instead of just using 0. So because in this case, or no. Oh wait, it is using frame Y. Oh, I thought oh yeah, no, I changed it here. Wait, why am I? Oh yeah, this is why. Right, this is why the end pieces were still messed up. Right, so frame Y. Right. I replaced this instance and this instance, which is supposed to be font Y. I mean, it really should be say text Y instead of font Y, but whatever. So those, what are these other zeros? These are intentional zeros. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we have full height, we have frame height, and we have font. Or we have full height, we have frame Y, and we have font Y. So let's figure out what those are. Let's figure out what those values are actually supposed to be. So run journey. Activate away. Actually, no. First, I'll just set them all to 0, or like no. I'll set full height to. Well, no. I'll keep full height as it is, I suppose, and then I'll just like mess with frame Y and font Y, because zeroing them out seemed to work. So maybe they're just like too high or something. So yes, let's go to frame Y, where these are decided. So no, not there. Yeah, right. So let's just say. Right, let's just hard set these. It would be nice if I could just like I had it this way so that if I did change the font size, like subtly, I wouldn't have to come back and tweak this stuff, but whatever. Apparently that can't be trusted. So we'll say frame Y is 0 for starters. We'll say it's 0 for these things, and then so then the font Y, we'll say these are also 0. Just for starters, let's see how that looks, and then we can adjust from there. Because this should at least be very straightforward, right? Because, like, I mean, actually, at this point, I probably don't need both of them. Right, because, like, I can just, if I'm setting it manually, like, the only reason I was setting both of them programmatically is that, wait, what? Oh, whoops, not dash, it's supposed to be 0. Yeah. The reason I was setting them programmatically is in case, like, I felt like retuning those things and didn't feel like changing the other stuff, but apparently, nope. Whatever. Alright, so Why the frick are the edges still cut off? Like, that doesn't make any sense anymore. So maybe that's, like, representative of the problem. Because, like, if we look at if we look at these assets, they're actually, they actually line up. Like, the height of at the same zoom level, so, like, if we go to, like, I don't know, like, 800 zoom level, like, the edges of these things actually do line up. Right? Like, they're the same height, or this, like, they're the same, like, width, at least. And, like, at the same zoom level, they should all line up. And so if I'm using the same height value for these things, then they should all line up. And yet, alright, so what is that? That's, should be frame Y. That's when I'm blitting, yeah, so 0, and then B font frame Y. Yeah. And I mean, it's all 0 now, too, so, like, what the... And what is that about? What was that about? Well, I don't care about that. I can just, I don't know, whatever that is, I can figure it out later. So, yeah. Let's, um, let's, I don't know. It's another one of these situations where it's not really giving me much to go on. So, like, I mean, the oh, wait. No. Oh, wait a second. B font dot height. Oh, so that's one thing that's wrong, actually. This is supposed to be full height, not height. B font dot height? What does that even mean? I don't think height... Wait, what is height? It's full height, right? Height. Yeah. Oh, so... I mean, that wouldn't explain everything we were seeing, but, like, that was one thing that I guess would have been wrong previously. Because that way, in the case that... Well, let's see what that does. It's not running like a million copies of it, is it? No. Okay. Right. I was like, when I was... Okay, there we go. Okay, so is that everything that was wrong before? So now if I, oh yeah, so the frames are too big. Because, the frames, I sized those frames relative to the, size 40, font. I could try resizing them programmatically, just so I don't have to keep, like, constantly changing that, that asset. I might do that, at least for temporary. I don't know. Maybe I'll come to a different decision later, but, like, yeah. Like, okay, so let's, I'm gonna take another screenshot just to look up close at, like, what's happening here with, yeah, right. So, alright. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So I did move it too far down, because now that I'm, like, fixing it, if I fix it, like, if I set it back to how it was, oh, yeah. So actually, I guess at this point, right, so that was, like, I think that was, like, most of what was, like, wrong with, like, what I was doing just then. So I'm going to set, instead of using 0 for these things, I'm going to set these back to what they should have been. And then let's apply that change again, to use full height instead of height. And uh, yeah. Oops. Come on. I wish it didn't suck so hard at like just restarting. Like if I'm running the script and I tell it to run the script, it's like I'm somehow incapable of doing that. All right, so yeah, so like before, they're now lined up a little bit better. Um, and so yeah, so activate away mode. Right, so now I have to move it back up again because it's too far down. And I also want to make the frames smaller, right? How do I do that? I'm pretty sure there's a way I can scale in Pygame. So like all the scaling that I'm doing like up front. So it's like, yeah. So actually, I should. The thing that I was saying before about like setting the opacity of the frame, like when I fabricate the text, just for convenience, I'm probably actually just gonna make a duplicate font. Oh, uh, yeah. I'll probably just make a duplicate font. It'll be like virtually identical. It'll be like almost perfectly identical, the name tags and the on screen or like the screen text or whatever. It'll just be not exactly the same. All right, so surface scale. How do I'll ask the internet. Pygame scale. Pygame.transform. All right. Resize to new resolution. Sounds like what I'm looking for. Resize the surface to new resolution. So surface width height. Yeah. So if you want to repeatedly scale something, destination must be the same size as the width height passed in. Oh, okay, sure. Um, that's fine. So wait, what? I don't know what that means exactly in terms of how I frame m. So wait, so wait, scale itself does not return the scaled image? I feel like it probably should. I'm not assuming that it actually secretly does. Um, uh, Pygame image load. Oh, I have to use the exact pixel resolution of it. Or oh wait, but I'm only changing the height. Yeah. So I don't know. Oh, it's not the frame. Oh, it's not the frames index 0, right? It's only the frames index 1, or is it the which index is the font the character font char is do 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 index. Okay, the character font is index 1. So yeah. So env or like frame L or whatever. Nope. Yeah. So we'll just say scale or pygame.scale. Pygame.scale, or is it no? It's pygame dot. Was it transform.scale? Yeah, transform. Pygame dot transform dot scale. Pygame image load. Right. That's what we want to scale. And then we want to scale it to. Oh, I guess we would need to know the. Oh no, we do know the height. I can just like say what the height is, right? So this was 46, and so we went from 40 to 30, so we won't go from 46 to, no, it doesn't have to be exact. We can just go from 46 to like 34 or 35 or something like that. 34 probably. All right, so 34 comma, oh no, excuse me. This is the frame L, so we don't actually want to change the width. So the frame stays as like what, 2 pixels? So it's 2 pixels, comma 34. Yeah, I think that's what we do to this. And so we'll do that. Here and here, and again, comma, like this. Yeah, let's see what that does. Whoa, I can't tell what that did. It did something. Whoa. Yeah, no, what's going on here? Print screen. What is happening here? Alright, so it seems to just have obliterated most of the backing. But it didn't seem like literally all of it was obliterated. Yeah, like the oh. Right. No, I know what happened. I accidentally used the wrong dimensions for the middle part. But the rest of it seemed to work out okay. So, right, no, for the middle part, it was actually supposed to not be 2, it was supposed to be 1920. Yeah, that's a slight difference. But other than that, it seemed to work out okay. So, yeah, because I'm not like so worried about like the appearance of that text, or that frame. Like, I think this is probably gonna be fine. See, like I think that's like fine. So apart from the fact that the text is like way off screen now, I think that'll look mostly okay. So like, yeah, right. So it's like, I mean, that's roughly what the backing text. Like, it just scaled it, so it's like roughly like what it was before. And that's actually pretty clean, right? Like, that's like, that doesn't look much significantly better or worse than like I had it. So, yeah, the other thing that I'm going to do though is I'm going to say, so stop this, and then, so what is it? What else do I want to do? It's like, yeah, so the other thing I want to do is basically like all of this again, or like, no, I want to say, self, dot frame, oh yeah, so frames will have 3 surfaces, because I'm just gonna make a separate surface. I'm just gonna like pre-adjust the opacity of a third surface, which is a copy of the. It's gonna be the same thing as like frame index 1, but it's just gonna so self frame L equals Pygame. No, equals what? It equals if I just say it equals self dot frame, or if I say index 2 just equals index 1, is that gonna make a copy or a reference? I wonder. Because I want to say it's like well, actually I'll just say like for oh wait, no, that's not. Never mind. Yeah, I just want, so self frame L. Yeah. And then oh yeah, so then the other thing is self frame L index 2 dot set alpha. There's a command where you can just set the alpha of the entire thing. You can just say this whole thing, you be this alpha, set alpha. Yeah, set underscore alpha. It's from somewhere from 0 to 255. So set alpha. So oh yeah, so I should make these let's make these images not translucent anymore. Save it again as not translucent. Undo, save, undo, save. Okay. So yeah, so those are, so now I'll make some of them translucent programmatically by saying set alpha 127, I guess. Actually, I was thinking that might even be too opaque. So let's just try like 100, like a clean 100. Actually, yeah, I'll just say for li in self dot frame l, because it's going to be for all three of these. Self frame l, self dot frame m, self dot frame r. Excuse me. We're just going to say index 2. Yeah, so li index 2 equals index 1, and then li index 2 dot set alpha, etc., etc. Okay. So, oh wait, Eltusky, how's it going? Sorry. So, I wasn't super tuned into chat, so I was not paying close attention, but how's it going? Alright, let's see what this does. Because this, I don't know, is this gonna, oh, oops, I forgot the colon. Is this gonna change? Oh, wait. Well, yeah, actually, yeah, so I won't change anything else yet, but, like, I just want to see if this makes all of the text alpha. I almost said alfalfa. Does this, like, make all of the text transparent and alpha? Yeah, it does. Alright, so it's just, it's not actually, like, copying the, I want to make a copy of the image. Like, I want it to be so, like, how do I do that? Copy. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. So li 1 and equals li index 2 equals li index 1 dot copy. Right. All right. So now all the text should not be transparent. All the text should be perfectly opaque, because I'm making the copy, so I'm not like, yeah. So okay. So that text is opaque. But then the thing is, I haven't set up the well, for one thing, it's still off screen. It's still mostly off screen, but I also haven't changed it to use the correct frame index. So yeah. Yep. Let's so save that, and then so what do we, am I really gonna make a whole new font set? That seems unnecessary. So maybe I'll just let like when I'm blitting text, maybe I'll just indicate the frame that way. So like for blit text, maybe I'll just like instead of using like a frame index for the yeah, right. So I'll just say string b font and then f index frame index. So instead of using what is it? It's like yeah, instead of using b font frame index, I'll just use this frame index instead. So in all these places, paste. And so most of the time I can use the font. I can use the frame index of the font that I'm passing in, but yeah, for the screen text, I'm just gonna use the translucent kinds, because the very bottom of the screen is the only place where I could actually use translucency. Everywhere else in the entire game, I can't assume that there's going to be something behind it, and so because of the way the chroma stuff works, then yeah. I don't actually really like that I'm using translucency in this way, or transparency, or whatever you want to call it. It just accomplishes what I want to accomplish. Because like this is the only place in the game that I'll be using transparency, which is a little weird, but yeah. Alright, so let's go to places where we reference split text. And now, so name tag dictionary, right? So it's going to be font char and then font char dot frame index, and then it'll be like that for all of these. Do doodly doops, duper doops, super doops. Cool. And then right. So then there's the other reference to the action tags, which will use. Oops, undo. Which will use. Wait, what? Why did it just like send me weird places? I have no clue what just happened. I still don't know what Control B does, but I know I accidentally hit it a lot when I'm trying to do Control V. Cool. And then yeah. So then lastly, for screen text, we're going to be using frame 2, which whatever. All right. So let's see how that works. Sorry. Oh yeah, and this text is still going to be off screen. I should make the text not off screen anymore. Oh, hey, how about that? List index out of range. Oh, frame width. I'm not saying frame width for frame. Yeah, okay, so let's, whoops. Let's set that as well. So it'll just be, frame, so self dot frame width, oh, and height too, presumably. Frame width, yeah, oh yeah, okay, sorry, I was making sure I was setting those correctly, like making sure I was getting the width after the scale operation, or the height specifically. I need to be making sure I'm getting the height after the scale operation. So it's frame width index 1 or index 2 equals self.frame width index 1, and then actually let's duplicate that. So yeah, so 2 equals 1, and in this case it's height. Frame height, and so on and so forth. Mysterious opalescent jewel. I was like, when I went, like, sometimes when I go like doop doop or whatever, like I hear I hear that music, and like I tried to like actually emulate it a little bit, but I was like, no, I'm not doing a good enough job emulating it. No one's gonna no one's gonna hear what's in my head. But yeah, no, it was totally the doot doot doo doo doot doot doo. Thank you, by the way, Photoshozen. I'm glad we're on the same page. Okay, wait, what? Oh, yeah. Right, so these also need to have indexes, right? Right. Alright, so here we go. Oh, yeah, the text is still off the screen. Other than that, though, things are going to go mostly okay. Why? What the heck is that dark bar about? Oh, cripes. No, I know what it's about. Whoa. Why did everything turn into... Oh, I know why, because I'm sloppy with the copy and paste. Sloppy and paste. Alright, so, no, frame index, yeah, you're right, because I said I was frame index and blah blah blah, and then, when I was splitting the action tags, I changed it to font char instead of font action. Yeah. All right, so that's why that got messed up. And I know what. So frick. I don't want to just like. I don't want to just make duplicate versions of like all those assets, just to make it so that like I can have a version with transparency. But I feel like that might be what I have to do, because like the alpha setting that I'm using sets the alpha across the entire image, and I think because like I was using an I was using an image that had different alpha values. Instead, it was just like overwriting the alpha values that existed, and so even the part that like had an alpha value of 0 originally, like the blank space, that was getting an alpha value of 100, but it was probably like black with like 0. It was probably like 0 0 0 0, and so it got changed to 0 0 0 100, and so it was showing up as like translucent black. So that's annoying. Um, hmm, Annoying. Was this convert alpha? No. I guess I, I guess I can just make duplicate versions of all those assets, but that's like really dumb. I don't like that. I don't necessarily know a better way to accomplish it though. Uh, ah, um, I don't, I don't know. I guess no. I mean, I do know that I can just like do that quick and easy thing. That'll be no problem at all. Um, it's just not the way I like to solve problems. But like, I mean, like I guess another way I don't like to solve problems is using Pygame, because like Pygame tends to make things unnecessarily complicated, or like I don't know. It's a bit of a blunt instrument, Pygame. So like, yeah. All right. So yeah. So what am I looking for? Like frame. Yeah. So like frame. L. Do. So yeah. So instead of doing this business, I'll just like I'll just quickly duplicate these assets. There are worse fates. So duplicate that, and then so yeah, so we'll just set up frame index 2 a little more manually. And then so it'll be I don't know, I'll just call it like screen frame, etc., etc. And so like screen text will still use the same font as as the character text, but I'll just I'll just make these images separately. Yeah, which is really dumb because so I'm just like copying these here, renaming them to screen, etc., etc. I'm just like manually dropping down the translucency or the transparency. It just would have been really nice if I could have done that. If I could have done that programmatically, because then if I felt like tweaking it or tuning it or anything, then you know, no, no. Pygame's like, I don't want to do that. Pygame's like, I'm gonna be weird and like belligerent instead. All right, Pygame. Do do do. All right, so this will just take a minute, and by a minute I mean like probably several of minutes, but it'll be several minutes of our life that we'll never get back. Wait, no, that's the wrong way to think of it. It'll be relatively easy. So actually, yeah, I'll just to make so before I go through and like do each of these do every environment, I'll just make sure that 100 transparency or 100 opacity is roughly the value that I'm actually looking for here. So yeah, so I don't know why I have the width of that other one. Oh no, yeah, no, I do know why I have the width of that one set to 1920 is because We use the same frame for the text that goes like all the way across the screen and beyond. All right, so let's see what this looks like. I mean, it should look like what we had before. Screen frame L. Oh, right. So I'm just going to change the environment list to only load the village for now. Actually, no. I'll just create the. Yeah, it's complaining that I haven't set up the or the char frames for the or the screen frames for the other environments yet. That's simple enough. Sorry. Oops, no, not that one. So how were your all weeks? How did your week go, everyone? Let's hear from you guys. What did you do this week? Did you have a good week? Did you have a terrible week? I had a fine week. It was a weird week, but it was fine. One of my friends had a terrible week, which was it was like if you had to make up like a really terrible week, like if you had to think of like what would be a really terrible week, you could probably come up with a worse week than this person had for their week, but like this person's was really good. Like in terms of like terrible weeks, like this person, their week really hit like it exceeded expectations, I guess I'll say. I was very impressed with how bad this person's week went. Mine, like I said, weird, but I can't complain. Like I don't like it was literally just weird. It was like I did weird things. Like even today, I worked a little bit on like what I expect. Like so what I'm doing today, I wanted to do this on Tuesday. But then like Tuesday was like, no, this week is going to be weird instead. You're going to do all these other different things instead. I was like, okay, week. And so we did. And eventually we got here, and eventually we did work on this. But then, of course, working on this like turned out to be weirder than I expected. And then, yeah, the real meat, like the stuff that I really am looking forward to getting to, like it's at this point it's pretty clear that I'm probably not going to really sink my teeth into that stuff until Monday. So, I mean, the good news is that I'm excited for Monday. But yeah, no, I describe my week as overall pretty good. I just yeah, it's weird going into the weekend though because like it's one of those. I had this last week too, where like, or no, was it last week? No, it was the week before last. Going into the weekend, I I want the weekend to start. Like I enjoy my weekends because like I take it, I do fun things and like I do things I enjoy and I don't feel as stressed on the weekends because I let myself relax a little bit more. But like I almost wish that the week went a little bit longer. Like I just like I don't know. I mean in this case it's like a very positive thing because like I said, I think the stuff that I have lined up for Monday, I'm like psyched about that. It's something that I've had on the backlog for like so long, and because we got the project into like a good state, like we can now go a little wild in terms of like what comes next, right? We can we added like all the important stuff. Now we can just add stupid stuff and like ridiculous stuff. And we know we'll have like at least a somewhat solid foundation now that we've made a lot of those improvements. So that's cool. But then I also just like it's also like I think because like things got really buggy, like everything from Wednesday on, like I had like a really nice streak of like implementing things and they mostly worked. And then we just hit that like really rocky buggy, like what was it? It was yesterday, right? Yesterday we spent like all day debugging, right? And so it's like I just have this like nervous feeling about like about what comes next. It's like I have a slight trepidation about how what like I feel like this weekend I'm probably gonna spend at least a little bit of time like just like what's the like wringing my knuckles or whatever or like wringing my hands like trying to like just think about the state of the project and like what's I don't know. Oh, there's a really good comic I saw I don't know if I can find it, but there's this there's this funny comic about like programming, or like the life of a programmer, where it showed the programmer sitting in front of a computer screen, and then okay, well, we made all these so we can actually evaluate the script now. It showed a programmer sitting in front of a computer screen, and like it was like dark, and so the programmer like peels himself away from the computer, and they walk over and they get in bed, and they're lying in bed, and then like their ghost like gets back up out of bed and then walks back over and then sits back down at the computer, which I don't know. It was just one of those things that like this stupid. All right, well, it's still off the bottom of the screen, but it's all looking good now. Is the good news? So right, that's the good news, right? So this is, I think we're getting there. I think we're like, so now we just have to like put it back on screen, and I think we actually have accomplished our goal. I might want to tweak the name tags a little bit more now that we know like what the rest of the composition of the scene is going to look like. We can start to like really hone in on like what we want for the name tags. But yeah, so let's do what? Yeah, so height plus 10. So no, let's start with just, yeah, actually no, this should be correct now. It should just be g height minus font char dot full height, because this should put it square against the bottom of the screen. Now that we've got the font stuff all sorted out. I use full height, right? Yeah, full height. All right, so so yeah, so here we have it. Hark, hark. We've wandered into a cavern grotto to find ourselves. Yeah, so this is like, I mean, we're in the village when we should be in the cave, but other than that, I think this is pretty good. So yes, oh yeah, so the thing I have to look at really is the opacity. So let's open paint.net. You don't contain an image. Clipboard doesn't contain an image. I'll contain you an image. All right, so you guys see a black backdrop here, but I see a bright pink backdrop. So I'm just gonna get rid of that bright pink backdrop because it makes it really hard to evaluate like the overall aesthetics. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's good. Like the very lightly transparent backdrop. Oh wait, is it cut out? No, that's just the. Alright, it's just so faint that you can very clearly see the gradations. I was like, wait, is it only showing on this top half here? Is it not showing on the bottom half? But no, it is showing. It's just you can see the gradations of the dirt behind it, and so like so there is that faint. There's this faint backdrop, but it doesn't like it's not supposed to like completely blot out the scene. In fact, it's supposed to show this as much of the scene as possible. It's just supposed to like soften the setting on which the text lies so that the text is still fully legible. And I feel like it's actually accomplishing that pretty well. So, yeah. Like you can see, like, so the drape, for example, the drape of this monk character. Like, the monk has like the red drape that like flies behind, and you can definitely see the red drape underneath the text, but you can still read the text, right? That's the important part. So I feel like this is good, and I think 100. Like I wanted it to be as low transparency as low like I wanted to use as little of this as we needed, and I think this is actually good. I think 100 is going to be pretty okay, in my opinion. Yeah. So let me just look at how the name tags look again. Yeah, like I was saying, I definitely want to tune the name tags somehow. I don't know how exactly. I think I want to bring them down for one thing, and yeah, like right because I think they actually start too high now because they like the height didn't change, but the positional height didn't change, but the width height or like the measurement of like the thickness of them, that like that height value changed, and so because the top stayed at the same point, like the bottoms just came up, and so now there's like a much wider gap between the between the adventures and like where their name tags appear. And yeah, so yeah, I mean, so the slightly awkward thing is that they're actually like the name tags are actually at a good height for the position of the action tags so that they don't like occlude the action tags too much. But I'm okay with occluding the action tags a little bit more. I think overall this is just really good. I think we're just getting to a really good place. I mean, if I wanted to go crazy with it, I could actually make the action tags bigger. Like I could make. Oh no! There's a reason I can't make the action tags bigger, and that's because the bigger I make them, I actually did want to make them a little bit bigger, but I scaled them down. And actually, maybe I should scale them down even a little more now that like I don't want to rechange the art, so I'm not going to change like the backing. But yeah, actually no. Now that I think about it, I could like decrease the font size of the action tags a little bit if I needed to. No, I don't think I will do that yet though, because no, the reason I'd considered that is that I might move them down slightly more. Like I might move them a few clicks further down, like maybe even 10 more pixels down or something like that. And then and then when I change the name tags, they'll stay in a good relative. They'll stay in a good position relative. Okay, yeah, so let's do that. Because I really don't mind that the adventurers walk in front of that text. You don't need to be reading that text constantly. You only need to see what those action tags say, like once or twice each, and then. I mean, so there are some situations. I might feel differently for ad lib events, because for ad lib events, like these will actually be changing. Like they'll be constantly, like not constantly, but like they'll actually be like turning over. They'll actually be like change, like it says like stripe berry pecan, but then like it might a short time later change to like stripe berry like potato. I don't know why it's always potato with me, but it can change to other things. Okay, so what did I do that I want to undo, and what did I do that I want to do in a less hacky way? Oh well, so first thing I'll before I move on to that stuff, I will change the so is it the act slots? Oh, I'm right at it. So 210. So let's say what I was saying, like another 10. Like so, let's say 220. See how that looks. 220. Save that. Run that. Chop and screw it. I don't know what that means. Alright, so yeah. Look at all that text. That is so much text. It's just funny that it like all comes in right at once. Not like funny, but like yeah. Um, Alright, so yeah, that seems like a fine height for the action tags. The action tags are a bit covered up. Like I might not want to make it come down quite so far, but like, I mean, I actually kind of really like the position of the name tags relative to the action tags now. Oh, you know what this reminds me of is like news TV is what this reminds me of. It's like this is like Channel 5 Action Team. Coming to you live from Acton Side Questia, or I don't know, whatever this this is what it's called. This just in, a rebel gang has taken innocent villagers. Sorry. Yeah. So, I don't know. This is fine. I'll probably tweak it. Like it's probably not going to stay like this forever. I'm probably going to tweak some things a little bit at some point. But oh wait, what does it look like at the end of the event? Like what about just the name tags without the action tags? Conclude event. So the action tags go away. The name tags continue to show. Most of these characters are like lurking. So yeah, no, those name tags are actually good. I think I just like all around like the position of the name tags, position of the text, and all that stuff. So I think this is how it's gonna be for a little while. And of course, like that text on the bottom of the screen, it won't literally show up all the time. Like, so what I'm thinking is like I'll update it at times, right? So like the so the event starts, the event text comes up like this, right? And then at the event mid time. I think I'm gonna just append it, like instead. So then instead of I mean, it'll be a little awkward if the break, like this, if this divide, is literally on the screen, like when we get that extra text added in, because we'll basically just like separate those, like we'll just widen that gap, and then we'll put the new text in between, So that way it'll continue to scroll the text, but it'll scroll it with the with the added stuff. So it's like Hark Rebel Gang has taken innocent villagers hostage. You can blah 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 blah, and then it like in that same line, like it'll say multi, and then it'll say you can win by covering all bases. You're doing well, but you could use a few more. Yeah, so it'll all just be like right in one line, and it'll continue scrolling until the end of the event, and at the end of the event, it will switch over to the outro text if there's outro text, um, or if there's not, like, yeah. So in the case of a prescripted event, it'll probably show up on screen a little bit. Yeah, but then, huh. Oh, one of the other things that I was thinking of doing is like using the I was thinking of using the using what the action tags for like more things. So I was gonna say like at the end of the event, like I could show on screen like the perfect sneak, like nice plan or like whatever. Um, but instead of showing it in the text on the bottom of the screen, I should actually probably wrap that into the action tags. Um, and like however I display the action tags, like however I use the action tags to display more information, I should like in a similar way, like use it to display that information as well. I'm still not sure exactly what I'm going to do there because um, jazz hands. No, there's the different event types. Like the way I would convey information in that space in the different event types is really weird and different, and I'll either have to come up with like some way to convey that consistently, or until I do, I guess I'll have to hold off on trying to use that space too much. And that's not even really urgent. Like I think that's on my to-do list, but it's not like very high up on my to-do list. Um, Time is now 4:39. Oh, I've been streaming for 5 hours and 47 minutes, which was actually my target. So I should I'm not done streaming yet because the script is like in a very hacky state right now, as I recall. So make it less hacky. Oh, this is a queue, so I don't need to say to make that a queue anymore. What did I do? So yeah, so I use true in a bunch of places. So like true or, uh, right. So yeah, this was just for testing purposes. We don't need that to be like that anymore. Uh, and oh, that was the only true or true. Yeah, there we go. Oh, whoa, what? This was not new. I did not put this in today. If denv name equal not equal do now or true. I don't know why I have that in there. Should I just take out this conditional statement? Because like, or true just means always do this. Um, I don't know. I feel like I should just take out this conditional statement. Because this is when, what is this? This is when I'm in, oh no, this is when the game is initializing a teleport. And what does it do? It sets the environment to equal the specified environment. Graphics message, teleport. I mean, I guess it's superfluous, is the thing. How does the graphics thread handle a teleport event? Actually, no, I think there is. No, there is something. No, there is a reason to do this, actually. Because, like, I'm pretty sure it resets the transition also. So just because, yeah, no, this is valid. Um, right, because you can, if you're in the cave, right, and you're transitioning out into the forest or whatever, but you want to stay in the cave, you can initiate a teleport command, and even though your current environment is technically the cave, um, you can initiate a teleport, and it'll put you in the cave, and it'll cancel the transition, and you'll just stay in the cave. Yeah, so that's valid. all right, yeah. So if not G, oh, I messed up the, or I can get rid of NT active, right? That's like one of the things. So, uh, yeah, right. So right, and I can take the if G event on out like condition out of showing name tags. Uh, so yeah, so this whole chunk here is no longer subject to that condition. So we can unindent that. And then, right, so also, so NT active, every reference to NT active, we can just get rid of that too. Um, oh, that's why I kept flickering before. It kept flickering because, yeah, so we can just get rid of this. So this is just if G event on. Um, yeah, so it kept, because I only disabled one reference to NT active, and it was actually flickering out for the frame wherein a player's name tag would appear. Like it wouldn't, yeah. All right. So NT active, super dead, not a thing. And is that everything? Did I change anything else that I want to unhackify? Oh well, I have like all those extra players that I'm adding in, so I can get rid of those. Trustee, right? So it's like, right, yeah. Uh, I'll just get rid of that list. Do do do. Oops. I don't know what that happened. So admin, right, so just trustee bard and admin. Those are the two standards. So, yeah. Apart from that, I think it's mostly good. Oh yeah, so now I should apply the changes to the opacity for the other environments too. Um, so, oh, will the white new scroll be visible in snow? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, that's valid. That's very valid. I'm hoping so, in part because so for the same reason that I have the shadowing on the text, right? Like the reason I have the drop shadow is because the text doesn't always show on a like on a dark background. The light text will be mostly visible, but on a lighter background, and yeah, so maybe that would be a good one to check next. Uh, so where is that? So like instead of hard setting the environment to village, let's hard set the environment to snow. And I think that actually was the next one we were gonna do because snow is because I usually either go in like chronological order, reverse chronological order, alphabetical order, reverse alphabetical order, and snow is next to the village. Um, so I'm gonna get the Price is Right thing stuck in everyone's head forever, for all time, and everyone's gonna love me for it. I'm sure. I'm sure of it. It's gonna go great. I mean, the other thing is I can do different transparency levels for like there's no reason. Actually, I guess that's one advantage to having these these assets tuned separately is that I can always like if like 100 is like good for like if 100 opacity is good for the village, but then like we need something a little thicker or like a little more substantial for other environments, then yeah. So let's hey, fun fact, if you well, I guess we'll find out in just a moment, but if you the spoilers are that if you return the map to the tavern, you get to participate in the cricket race. Okay, yeah, so this one definitely is not as legible. So maybe I'll bring back that huge list of adventures just for a minute, just so I can like look at this as well. Uh, because yeah, like you're saying, like maybe we should use a thicker backing. I mean, the other thing is I could use a darker backing or something. Because yeah, I mean I so far I had been this env name thing, that's not valid anymore. I'm gonna get rid of that. Yeah, okay. Uh, yeah, again, like I kept the frames like literally identical to the ones that we use for the name tags, but there's no reason I have to do that either. In fact, there's actually good reason that I shouldn't do that. Like the color of the name tags backing I chose specifically for the like average tone of like what the name tag would draw over. And so since the name tags show up above the adventurer's head, the average tone of like this space of the environment is not going to necessarily be the same average tone of the space below the adventurers. So yeah, it's entirely possible I should just like choose an entirely different I should just choose like an entirely different backing, you know. Yeah, because it definitely seems like, you know, at the very least I should make it more opaque. And actually, that seems fine in the snow, because like in the snow, like it's kind of expected that like, you know, the snow will like pile up around your waists, or for example. So, um, yeah, let's try more opacity first. See what that does. So let's zoom in so I can keep track of what I'm doing here. Um, so let's try like closer to like 180. You know, let's like swing in the other direction. So sorry. um, so yeah, here we'll still be able to see through it, and like this is a very light gray to begin with, so um, it's a very light gray to begin with. So even a little opacity will go a long way, or a little a little transparency will go a long way. Yeah. I'm not doing that intentionally, I swear. Now it's just happening because my brain gets really bored really easily. Um, uh, all right, so that's a little bit better. Um, it's not great though. It's not 100% super great. So I might darken it. I might even tinge it like greenish, slightly greenish. Because like whereas the name tags appear up here, where it's mostly like clouds and snow, the I don't know. I could darken it because like the path is a little bit darker, but it's actually very white. It's actually like very white. I mean, the other thing I could do is I could bump up the contrast on the text itself. Because actually, I actually decreased the contrast on the drop shadow when Trent complained about the aliasing. I actually like made it slightly softer overall, so I could make it harsher too. Um, Dumb question: would you be interested in checking out early thing you're doing with Twitch? That sounds cool. I can't really check it out like while I'm streaming, but like I could definitely check it out at some point. I would say. As I is it something that I have to like install on my computer? Because I don't like installing things. I know that's a silly thing, but like I like I don't know. Like I like I do like I'll literally put hours of research into like should I install a thing on my computer or not. So if it runs through Twitch, then like I'd probably be able to check it out. But like yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be able to do it until after I'm done streaming. Um, this is probably fine for now. I think. Hold on, let me look at like the tiny vision. Oh yeah, in tiny vision, it's definitely not very noticeable. So I think actually I might want to, yeah, like we've been saying, I might want to do more things with like the snow, like this framing that we have. But I think actually the first thing I want to do is beef up the text shading, shadowing, drop shadow, framing, offsetting, outlining, blurred derfing, whatever. All right, so font char, uh, font char. Shadow, right. So we're using actually a very light shadow for the secondary shadow. So let's use a darker one is my first gut reaction, the idea thingy. Um, So this will be less like a light shading and more like a an outline almost. It'll almost be as if the text is outlined. Um, so let's see how that looks. And this will change not just this will actually, yeah, so that's like darker already, right? It's like you can already tell it's like a little bit. Oh, that's a little bit. Yeah, that might be a little too far, right? Because now it's like that doesn't necessarily help, right? Because it just